I picked up this wire laundry basket on Amazon. Painting the wire can be a little bit difficult. You need to paint it from the inside and out. So I picked up one of these wood rounds from the craft store. The first thing I did was sand it all down, and now I'm going to add a wood stain. I chose a light gray. It's going to blend really well with the black wire down below. Once I've achieved the color that I want, I am just going to take this cloth and wipe off any excess stain that's on the wood. This is a satin water-based sealer, and I'm just going to apply very thin coats with the grain of the wood over the entire piece. Again, making sure I get the sides too. So I'm going to take this wood round and flip it over. Then I'm going to take my basket and put it on top of the wood round upside down. Now I want to add some stoppers to the wood round so that when that wood is on top of the table, it doesn't slide around and it's a nice sturdy end table. So I'm just using a Sharpie to mark 5 dots on here where I want to put my stoppers. The stoppers that I'm using are actually feet for furniture. So they just pound in normally to the bottom of chairs, but they're going to pound into the wood. You could also use adhesive rubber feet if you have those as well, but you want something on here so that the wood doesn't move around. I am putting this in my living room to store blankets. It is great for cold weather, so we can just grab the blankets we need. It's also going to store a couple pillows. When I set the wood round on top of it, it is nice and sturdy. I can put a plant on here, books, a lamp, whatever I need, but that I'm still able to pull that round off and use it as storage. I hope this inspired you to go make your own wire and wood table for far less than you can buy them online. For the first project, grab a plate or a tin that is a circle and trace 2 circles onto a piece of cardboard. Then cut them out using a craft knife. So take your 2 cardboard circles and glue them together. We just want a little bit of a thicker piece for this project. For this project, I'm going to use 2 pieces of scrap fabric that I have, and I'm going to cut circles out of each one just a little bit larger than the cardboard circles. Then, with your circles of fabric, you want to place the cardboard right in the center and cut little slits around the side, and then fold those pieces up over your cardboard and secure in place with glue. With the second circle, fold it in half and line it up on the front. This is going to create a pocket on this circle here. Then flip the whole thing over, cut those slits in the fabric again, and glue it in place, making sure to pull nice and tight. To finish this off, use a little hot glue and a piece of rope to add a hanger on the very top. I'm using this in my office as a little organizer for some mail and some cards. For this second project, cut out 2 pieces of cardboard in about 11-inch squares. Then you want to grab some patterned cardstock or paper. I am gluing 2 solid pieces of cardstock to the cardboard. Then I'm going to cut some smaller squares of cardboard. These are about 3.5-inch squares. And I'm going to cut some patterned cardstock, just a little bit larger than those small squares. Now glue that patterned paper to the small squares. And now we're going to create some kind of abstract art here. So taking those larger solid squares, I'm going to arrange the smaller ones on top of it in a pattern that I like and just glue everything together. This is a really fun and inexpensive way to dress up a wall. You can hang these up there with just some painter's tape or some command strip and really add some color and fun to your room. For the third project, we are going to make some little organizing boxes or jewelry boxes. So you want to cut a piece of cardboard. This is a 4x3 rectangle. And then we're going to cut some sides for the box. And these are going to be about a 1/2 inch tall. And then they're going to be as long as the sides. So 2 of them are going to be 4 inches and 2 are going to be 3 inches. When you have all your pieces cut out, use a little hot glue to turn this into a box. Then you want to paint this. You can choose any color you like and just paint all the sides inside and out. You do not need to paint the bottom inside. When that is dry, brush a little Mod Podge into the bottom of the box and then cut out a pretty piece of patterned paper that matches your paint and stick that on the inside. Then you're going to cover the whole box in a nice coat of Mod Podge. This is going to seal everything in, protect it, and make it look more like a finished piece of decor. I made two of these boxes and I'm using them in my office right next to my computer to hold a few things that I like to use often. So there are three ways that you can save those cardboard boxes and upcycle them into something decorative and functional for your home.
I had the solid wood bookcase, but it was missing a leg and had some dents and dings. I didn't want to throw it away, so I decided to make something else. I began by removing all the decorative molding and the feet. Then I removed the back and used it as a template to cut a piece of MDF to size. This would be the top of my finished piece. I bought a piece of 2-inch solid foam, laid it on top of the MDF, and found the center. I then measured and marked 5 additional points on the foam. I used a screwdriver and a hammer to poke through the foam to mark the MDF. On those marks, I drilled holes through the MDF. I increased the size of the foam holes using a utility knife. The reason for the 2-inch foam is I was going to upholster the top. I laid out my fabric, then interfacing, then the foam, then the MDF. By simply folding the fabric onto the MDF and stapling it in place, the top was taking shape. I carefully folded the corners and cut off excess material so it wouldn't be too bulky. To attach buttons, I used a metal skewer and pushed it through the fabric so I knew where my holes were on the other side. Because I didn't have a long enough needle, I fashioned one out of a bamboo skewer, attaching the button on the end and then pulling it through the fabric and the foam. To tighten the buttons, I placed a small screw between the holes, wrapped the thread around the screw, and screwed it in tight. To finish, I stapled a piece of white material over the bottom. I screwed in a piano hinge to the edge so the top could attach to the bottom. To give the bookcase an upholstered look, I covered it with batting and then fabric and stapled it on 4 sides of the bookcase. I stained pre-made feet with a walnut stain. When the feet were dry, I attached them to the bottom of the bookcase. So in case you haven't guessed, I turned my bookcase into an upholstered storage ottoman. It holds dog toys, blankets, anything I want. My dogs love it. I hope you do too, and I hope this inspires you to make a storage ottoman for yourself.